my ex-husband's mother gave a sneer. She's only present to humiliate herself. Yet as I trailed my ex inside the courtroom, the judge abruptly paused. My ex-husband thought he'd absolutely buried me. For 3 years, he'd systematically dismantled my life, stolen my sister, and tried to paint me as unstable, vindictive, and completely unfit. But the day I, Clara Monroe, walked into that courtroom, just as his expensive lawyers were smirking, the judge presiding over my case froze. His hand trembled as he leaned over to his clerk and whispered, "Why didn't anyone tell me she was here?" Yeah, you heard that right. What Ethan didn't know, what none of them knew, was that I hadn't spent those 3 years crumbling. I'd spent them quietly, painstakingly, building something he never could, a fortress made of truth. And today, his empire of lies was about to come crashing down. I stood outside that courthouse that morning, the October sunlight glinting off the granite steps. It felt too bright, too normal for what was about to unfold. My hands were steady, though, fingers curled loosely around my bag strap. Over the past 3 years, I'd learned that stillness could be a weapon, that silence could speak louder than any scream. That's when I saw him. Ethan Hale, my ex-husband, walked up those steps like he owned them. He was flanked by his silver-haired, impeccably suited lawyer, a suit that probably cost more than my monthly rent, and his mother, Margaret, pearls gleaming, an expression of smug certainty plastered across her face. Ethan's laugh carried across the crisp morning air, sharp and cruel. It was the same laugh I'd heard 1,000 times during our marriage, a victory cry when he thought he'd won something. He caught sight of me and leaned into his lawyer, his voice just loud enough for me to hear. Look at her. Pathetic. She actually thinks she has a chance. I didn't flinch. I stopped flinching about 2 years ago. What Ethan didn't know, what none of them knew, was that this wasn't just about our failed marriage anymore. This wasn't about splitting assets or settling scores. No, this trial was about Laya, my 15-year-old sister, the girl I'd raised since our parents died in a car accident when she was 7. The girl Ethan had tried to take from me by convincing a court I was mentally unstable, unfit, and dangerous. He'd painted me as the villain in his meticulously crafted story, the obsessive ex-wife, the unhinged woman who just couldn't let go. But I'd been painting my own picture, stroke by careful stroke, for 3 long years. And today, the canvas would finally be revealed. Inside my mind, I could see Laya's face from this morning, hopeful and terrified in equal measure. Her dark hair pulled back, her hands gripping mine as she promised to be brave. I told her to stay home, that she didn't need to see this, but she'd insisted on being nearby, waiting at a cafe 2 blocks away with my best friend, Ava. "You can't protect me from everything, Clara," she'd said, and the truth of it had broken something in my chest. I'd been trying to protect her from Ethan since the day I realized what he... Full story video added in below.